Yo, what it do? It's Mr. the Cat. This is Primal Nemesis. How to not fight and defeat the HYDRO KAIJU. When I summoned it, just my luck, the server crashed. I'm not sure if I caused it or it was just coincidence. But luckily, with the 30-second immunity buffer that the game gives you now, you're not instantly destroyed when you load onto a map, which is great. I was able to kind of get some distance with my opponent up and down, get a lay of the land, and I thought I was ready to take him out. I wasn't expecting him to be 80% mesh though, and I dove headfirst into the water and completely got obliterated. This set the tone, and unfortunately had rash decision after rash decision, where I jumped off, for instance, with this parachute, which was probably not my brightest moment, and so I think if I used the spyglass, I could have gotten my Griffin to be more responsive, but unfortunately, again, this panic set in. I didn't even notice that I was getting too close to this kaiju. If I disengaged my parachute, I could have saved myself from being in the danger zone and dying back to back so quickly. Luckily, I still had a couple teams in my back pocket at this juncture of the fight, and I was able to finally go ahead and approach the Griffin safely and get him to follow me over so I could finally mount him and start this fight off on the right foot. The difficulty levels is cranked up, so the monsters come in at as high as level 600, like this particular kaiju here. So he's dealing with about 45 million HP. And my little Griffin here, he slaps for a few good chunks, I think 50 damage, 50,000 K or so like that, and or 63,000, I'm sorry. And if you swoop in, you can do as much as 400,000 plus damage to it. So once I kind of got the idea of where the hitboxes were, even though the hitboxes kind of moves, I was able to kind of get a rhythm down and knock that 45 million health in half. And I felt kind of confident that I could take care of this boss. It is a really early, not supposed to be a very difficult boss to take down. The Discord recommends, just using Rexes. I think you can have some elemental Rexes or Apex Rexes. A small army of them can also take this guy out. So I'm definitely this is a fable of user error or skill level not quite, being there. But hopefully through my mistakes, you know what not to do when you plan to take this guy out. It is recommended that you use elemental counters when going against these giant kaiju people. This isn't the only fight I've had so far against these big behemoths. Currently breeding up my elemental Rexes to take on the next couple stages of these guys. I have Hydros lined up and Volcanics lined up as well. But the hardest part I feel is just getting that sweet spot of connecting with the actual model and doing that damage you're looking for. And then the attack range of the boss is also so kind of like erratic. It feels like in certain angles you're safe, in certain other angles you're not, and it's very hard to gauge or to understand. And then of course you sprinkle in the Denzians of the map, you could make a hard battle almost impossible. But as I'm chipping away onto this gigantic slugfest, I find myself getting ever closer, and I feel more and more confident that I got what it takes to take this guy down, and honestly, with very little cost so far, emotionally and materially as well. So very, very proud of myself. Until little by little cracks in my gameplay start to show. This is a great instance here. I should have been murdered. I'm not sure why I wasn't. I'm definitely further away later on, and I get completely demolished. So it's very weird, but again, very sporadic. Another big problem I just didn't realize is watching out for these red flags. I've run into this aspect in the past when I was kind of building up my roster of tames and everything, getting my base established. But I usually just get instantly murdered. The fact that I lived through that, I thought that my Griffin was, at a much better position. So I didn't really give too much heed to this. And I run into that, status effect again. And I'm thinking, okay, no problem. This B is not going to be a problem for me. But I'm going to find out I was way wrong on that. So the compounding problem of not staying on top of my health, I could have taken that potion at 50% anytime. I didn't do it. And then when I was at death's door, not selecting the 100% potion was the death nail in my stupid gameplay there. My poor Griffin, she did not deserve that. And the fact that I used every last berry I had in my whole base to make every last potion I possibly could, and put every potion in that bird, put me in a position where I just wasn't in a position to take on this fight anymore. And through hard-headedness, I didn't want to accept these cold, hard facts. I had run out of Griffins. I started making a new one, and I figured with the time I had left, I could go ahead and maybe, chip away a little bit of the Kaiju's health with my RG. She had over a million health. I figured I could take a couple hits, and this Apex RG used to be a baller. And I know it got nerfed a little bit in the update, but I figured it could do something maybe, but it was just impossible to find that spot. And by the time you get to that one area in the crook of the knee, you're so far down that freaking bee was right there waiting for me. I didn't mean to make that rhyme. So the egg still is not ready to hatch, but it's on the precipice of doing so. But then I realized that I never checked the stats of this bad boy. And if I had done that, I would have known that the melee damage wasn't transferred. And I have a real garbage level Storm Griffin and a one really great Storm Griffin. And it was a difference of 144 points in melee versus 39 points in melee. And you can even be a beach mob realize that the one stat's way bigger than the other stats, so it really is useless. So I had to go back to the drawing board. I need to get my hands on some love potions to get these Griffins back doing the business and get me some more eggs. So I figured with more hatch times on the horizon, maybe I could maybe do some more prep work while I'm kind of waiting and kind of tackle two birds with one stone. So I went out, grabbed the Griffin. I'm going to try to go ahead and move this freaking celestial bee out of the main area of the fight. And unfortunately, I don't do a lot of shooting off the back of tames. It's very wonky for me to do that. I'm not great at it. My controller on the PlayStation has a pretty bad stick drift. I'll blame that to all my terrible shots. But I also was shooting recklessly because I thought I had 100 plus bullets to play with. So I thought it was just like, going out of style shooting these bullets. Unfortunately, I was shooting my darts, my elemental darts, which I wish I didn't waste all those like that. But for some reason, the bullets wouldn't load into my sniper rifle. It was very frustrating. And again, it was one problem after another that just really affected my overall morale, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And just, again, just upset. I felt defeated. And I knew there was no way out of here without moving that bee. And I had nothing on me that could kind of aggro it to me. I don't know why I approached this close. My poor bird couldn't take it. And instead, I just, I don't know, I was just so busy wallowing in self-pity that I found myself completely double tapped by this freaking water kaiju. But, you know, the lesson learned. Um, hard knocks, as they say. Armed with my long neck and bullets, and it loaded, I tried to take another shot at moving this bee. I wasn't sure if I could get, much closer. And every step I took with my eyes closed a little bit. With one eye closed, I inched ever closer. You never know what's on this beach, too. I was always kind of worried that some other, stupid dodo could come and one-shot me at a moment's notice. But when I saw this green status effect, my heart dropped because I thought that bee was coming for me. But luckily, it was just a normal dillo. Unfortunately, the dillo was like 700 plus or whatever, so I had a ton of health. But just a normal dillo. If it was anything more outrageous, I probably would have been murdered immediately. But luckily for me, the RNG gods were smiling on me. It was just a normal old vanilla small dillo. It did juke me a little bit. It was tough to hit. Again, I was panicking and just shooting willy-nilly. I've never missed that assist aim more in my life, but I didn't want to cheese with that. But luckily, I got this guy taken out, and I was able to finally move my way up and get my sights locked in on that infernal celestial queen bee. She'd be so tough, yo. I can't wait for the day I can finally kill this thing legit on something, because it's been the bane of my existence. But it's killed me. It was all part of the plan. I take that death as a big W. And now that I got this bird moved, I can go ahead, grab my griffin, and start finally making some progress again on this giant water monster who only has a handful of health left. I think it's at around 2 million health, down from 45 mil. I'm possessed. I have to kill this thing. I won't stop until it's dead. I don't care how many griffins I throw at it, but I am not going to stop until it's dead. Unfortunately, with this brand new griffin, I never put it on passive, so the second I hit the water, deuces, it's gone. So I get to see it, take a couple good smacks at the kaiju, which is great. You notice those feet are very easy to hit, which is why those Rexes work so well against this particular boss fight. So anyway, that griffin's dead instantly. I succumb to the alpha dodo, and I come in again with my fourth griffin. I can't believe it. They don't deserve this beating, but it is what it is. The beastie now at under 2 million health. I could taste the W. It's so close. I have a good 3 or 4 more griffins left that I can throw at it. So I'm feeling more and more confident that this is going to get done today. I'm not going to fail. But I do know that engaging on this fight without potions really isn't going to do anyone any favors. I can get a couple swings in, you can see, but without that potion, it's nothing. So the solution to this problem is to grab on my Bronto, jump on it, and then throw some ass. Get some berries, and make some potions that I desperately need to finish this super kaiju off. So with a couple of tail swings, I'm able to get plenty of berries and get the potions done and in my bird, and finally make the victory run that I've been trying for over an hour to do in real life. Luckily, I've cut this down to a handful of minutes, but man, it was such a long day. With the end game in sight, all I had left were my thoughts of how dumb I approached this whole thing. I wish I had just, more patience. I could have saved a lot of time, a lot of creatures, just a lot of trouble if I had just done a few things differently in hindsight, which I hope this video can help in some way for you guys out there when you tackle this thing. Just small little things, like potions, and not having it all, all your eggs in one basket. Just small little things like that can make all the difference. Facing down the last million points, or last million hit points this thing has, I wanted to go off and maybe see if I could get a couple more cheeky levels from these dodos, and kind of boost up my stats just a little bit more. So maybe a little bit, I think, would help. I really missing my OG Griffins, giant 400,000 that I was getting before. But if I could just get a couple 100,000 per swing, I would feel just a lot better about the whole endeavor. So luckily here I can see myself getting a little bit closer to the number I'm looking for, and with the health potion, be able to get myself at full power, I felt confident that this is the last strafing run that I'll need to do to finally defeat this giant monstrosity. And he's donezo. So hyped up. First try. You get some seeds, you get an apex skull, and with that you get to move on to the next tier. Take it easy.